Night settles over the tropical forest with a heavy, humid stillness. The moon is a pale blade behind broken clouds, throwing patches of silver across the tangled understory. Cicadas drone and tree frogs trill in an endless chorus. Deep among buttressed trunks, a shadow glides soundlessly over damp leaf litter. It is the apex hunter of the Americas, the jaguar. This male, weighing nearly 120 kilograms, moves with the coiled grace of a predator perfected by evolution. Each step is a study in controlled power, massive shoulders rolling beneath a rosette-spotted coat that blends perfectly with dappled light. Jaguars are ambush specialists, capable of crushing a skull with the strongest bite of any big cat. Deer, peccaries, capybaras, and caimans have all fallen to that signature tactic, a sudden leap, jaws clamping through bone to reach the brain. Tonight, hunger sharpens his senses. A lean season has thinned his usual prey, and he ranges wider than usual. Downwind, a faint rustle betrays movement. The jaguar halts, nostrils flaring. The scent is strange, musky, woody, tinged with resin. He inches closer, paws silent on the damp earth, until moonlight reveals an unexpected silhouette, a massive porcupine, far larger than the common tree species. This terrestrial giant browses calmly among fallen fruit, its rounded form cloaked in dark guard hairs that conceal thousands of ivory quills. It is an herbivore, seemingly defenseless, and to a hungry cat it appears to be an easy kill. But the porcupine's stillness masks a remarkable defense. Each quill is a modified hair shaft made of keratin, hollow and lightweight, yet strong as tempered plastic. The tips are needle-sharp and ringed with microscopic backward-facing barbs. When these barbs pierce flesh, they flare and resist removal, working deeper with every muscle contraction. The animal carries more than 30,000 of these weapons, each ready to detach at the slightest touch. The jaguar circles, crouching low, tail twitching in predatory rhythm. His instincts tell him to strike at the skull or neck, but the thick guard hairs hide the exact contours. He lunges. The porcupine wheels with surprising speed, raising its quills like a sudden white explosion. A sharp rattle fills the air as it slaps the ground with its tail. A warning, but hunger overrules caution. In a single bound, the cat closes the gap, jaws gaping to deliver a killing bite. The impact is instant agony. As the jaguar's mouth closes around the porcupine's back, dozens of long quills drive upward into soft tissues, tongue, gums, palate, and the roof of the throat. Some puncture lips and cheeks, others angle into the roof of the mouth, their barbs catching like fishhooks. Pain detonates in white-hot flashes. The cat recoils with a guttural roar, but the quills remain, each movement dragging them deeper. Instinctively, he paws at his muzzle, trying to scrape the spines free. Quills snap, leaving barbed fragments embedded. Some pierce all the way through the tongue, making every motion a fresh wound. Blood mixes with saliva and drips onto the forest floor. The porcupine has already shuffled backward a few paces, quills still erect, ready for another defensive swing if needed. It does not need to chase. Its work is done. The jaguar retreats a few meters, shaking his head violently. Each shake drives the remaining quills deeper. Muscles of the throat spasm, making swallowing difficult. He tries to drink from a nearby stream to cool the burning, but water only sharpens the sting. Some quills have penetrated toward the pharynx, threatening to block the airway. The cat's magnificent strength now turns against him. Every powerful contraction of jaw and tongue pulls the barbs inward, beyond easy reach. Hours pass. The jungle remains alive with night sounds, indifferent to the drama unfolding beneath its canopy. The porcupine, its own adrenaline fading, resumes a slow, methodical retreat, disappearing into darkness. The jaguar lies low beside the stream, panting, drool tinged with red pooling beneath his chin. Occasionally he rises and staggers, but pain and swelling grow worse. Infection sets in quickly in the warm, humid air. The body's immune response causes tissues to swell, narrowing the throat and adding pressure around embedded quills. Each breath becomes labored, a wheeze rising in his chest. By dawn, vultures circle high above. The jaguar has barely moved. Fever builds as bacteria multiply along the quill shafts. Some quills have likely punctured deep muscle and grazed blood vessels, seeding infection directly into the bloodstream. The cat makes one last attempt to stand, then collapses in the dappled light. Hours later, the forest is silent except for the rasping calls of scavenger birds. Life has left the apex predator, undone not by claw or fang, but by thousands of tiny barbed spears. From a biological perspective, this confrontation is a rare but well-documented hazard. In South and Central America, jaguars occasionally attack porcupines when other prey is scarce. Most survive, but not without consequence. Quills can cause lingering abscesses, starvation if lodged in the mouth, or systemic infection if they migrate inward. Veterinarians treating captive big cats have documented quills found months later near vital organs after migrating through tissue. The giant ground-dwelling species encountered here carries quills several times longer than its arboreal cousins, magnifying the danger. The physics of the quill make this outcome tragically efficient. Each is a hollow tube that bends without breaking, its tip covered with microscopic scales that point backward like tiny grappling hooks. Laboratory tests show that a porcupine quill requires far less force to penetrate flesh than a hypodermic needle, but up to 4 times the force to pull back out. Engineers studying these barbs have copied their design for medical adhesives and surgical staples. Evolution refined a perfect defense, a weapon that deploys on contact, inflicts immediate trauma, and continues to work long after the animal that wielded it has walked away. As the day warms, the forest begins its endless cycle of renewal. Beetles arrive first, followed by the cautious descent of vultures and caracaras. Each participant in the food web benefits from the nutrients of the fallen predator. Plants at the stream's edge will absorb what remains, their roots nourished by the minerals released back into the soil. Nothing is wasted. Far from being a passive victim, the giant porcupine has proven itself a formidable survivor. It does not chase, claw, or bite. Instead, its very skin carries a living fortress. To the hungry jaguar, it seemed an easy meal. In reality, it was an evolutionary trap, a creature honed by millennia to turn aggression back on the attacker. On this night, the balance of power reversed. Strength and speed were no match for quiet, patient armor. By dusk, only scattered rosetted fur and a faint metallic tang in the air remained to hint at the struggle. The porcupine is long gone, moving deliberately through the undergrowth in search of tender shoots and fallen fruit. The forest has reclaimed its quiet, but the lesson endures. In the intricate calculus of survival, even the mightiest predator can be brought down by a patient herbivore armed with nothing more than sharpened hairs and time.